Let's bring in National Trial Attorney Michael Jaafar to weigh in. How is the doctor doing so far? This is a huge defense witness, witness number 2 on the stand, Michael.
I thought she'd be nervous. She's doing a good job. This was a big win for the defense, for the judge to allow limited testimony. It benefits the defense greatly. So they're off to a good start. This witness is doing pretty good. And I'm puzzled by the whole back and forth on how many months she had a subscription to the Boston Globe. But other than that, it's going pretty good for the defense.
Absolutely. Just getting that in juror's mind, dog bite. This lady thinks it was a dog bite,
And she showed
whether
them
they're right.
the dog bite and how it could make it. She's a doctor saying that. I think while they get in that sidebar, let's bring in National Trial Attorney Michael Jaafar. Michael, I want to go back to the cross of this witness by the Commonwealth. They really seem to lean into this idea that bite mark science isn't a science. It's what's generally accepted now. There have been convictions that have been overturned based on people being matched to scenes because of the bite marks left and comparing their bite mark print to that. But it's not completely junk science is what this witness is saying in terms of recognizing animal versus human. Your thoughts on the effectiveness of that theory during cross?
I think in the closing argument, the prosecutor is going to basically dispense of this witness by saying the last time she did any of this was back in 1995. The science is not clear. She didn't even know. She was not even aware that there was no canine DNA on the victim, and she came into the game late in the game. So you should just discard her. At the beginning of this case, I said that the jury is going to be seeing a Rorschach test when they go to decide this case. This is part of the Rorschach test. The defense is doing what they need to be doing, which is creating more distractions in the Rorschach test. I would count this witness as part of that, right? Yeah, could it have been a dog? Could she be right? Maybe, but at the end of the day, this is going to be one piece. The prosecution had 8 weeks of testimony, right? I'm sure the defense is going to have almost as much, if not more, maybe a little bit less, but a lot. I would say that in the final analysis, this witness, I don't think she is going to be this big, grandiose type. The judge is not even letting her answer the last question and sustaining objections, which shows you kind of where this fits into the whole grand parameter of the case.
But to your point, the Rorschach test, someone looking at that is going to think dog bite or snowplow, or, this is what the goal. They've achieved their goal. They got her on. I mean, the Commonwealth did not want her on the stand for a reason, and that is you don't want in the back of some juror's mind, I believe that lady, and I think it was a dog bite. So
Nadine is being held without bail. There's no court date that has been set for her case yet, but likely that is going to be soon. Let's bring back in National Trial Attorney Michael Jaafar to react to one of those cases, Michael, that's just shocking to hear this about a daughter and parents, and even that she attempted to shoot at her brother. So this is going to be an attempted murder case likely as well. Where do we even start in a defense of a case like this?
Mental health issues, nothing else. Just you have to stand her fitness to stand trial. She clearly has mental health issues. You have no card to play as a defense attorney other than mental health. You have to screen her for mental health, whether or not she is fit to stand trial. Juries have basically nullified the law here, sadly, in the United States with all these defenses. I don't know why it happened 30, 40 years ago. It just happened. But if juries look at people like this, need to be locked up at an institution and receive treatment, and she'll never see the light of day. She'll never see the outside of a jail cell, but she's not fit to stand trial. She just isn't, right? I mean, look at the facts. Her brother locked himself in the basement with his wife, fearing for his life. She shot through the door. She went back upstairs. She shot her parents again. She put a gun to her head when she walked away from police. She has no remorse. You either take the position that she's a villain or she's a person who has mental health issues. I just take the position she has mental health issues, but either way, it's sad. It's a tragedy. This should play out between you and I. She's never going to see the outside of a jail cell. This should play out if the prosecution and the defense can work together and get her some treatment. But she has no leg to stand on for any type of an acquittal.
Yeah, with the admissions, the probable cause affidavit said that after killing the parents that she fired a shot into the bedroom door where her brother had locked himself in, saying the probable cause statement said Mia stated that her brother was not her main target, but she would not have been sad had the gunshot killed him. To your point, this is a woman, and you look at her face, you look at her eyes, obviously there's something going on there, Michael.
Something went wrong. Something went seriously wrong with this individual. By all accounts, she had a great life. She had a great family. She just went wrong. It's sad for the parents too. But you know what's so sad? If the parents were alive, if they survived it, they'd say, "Let my daughter go." Right? That's just the way it is. Nature of being a parent. But the worst thing that happened to her is her parents died. Right? Her parents dying just sealed her fate. But something sadly went wrong. This is not going to be something where the criminal justice system has any type of a problem dispensing. People like this exist all around the world, right? And they have mental health issues, they have deficits, and these deficits happen between the ages of 20 and 40, and people develop paranoid schizophrenia, their conditions worsen, and it's untreated. And that's what a mental health facility is there for, to treat things like this. It's sad, it's a tragedy, there's no coming back from it.
Michael, you were touching on this with not being fit for trial. That's something that can happen even if there's not the option for an insanity plea.
The elements are, did the person appreciate the wrongfulness of what she was doing, right? So these statements are going to count against her when her defense takes the seat and says, I know what they're going to do. They have to allege an insanity defense. Did she appreciate the wrongfulness of her conduct? These statements are going to be the biggest piece indicating whether or not she did or didn't.
Mike Jaafar, thank you.